Mm. And one of the in my mind, I see it as like a beautiful irony that the globalization that enables oppression of this scale, that is, you're taking advantage of the vulnerabilities of that same system. As you mentioned, it's the supply chain. If Israel was going it alone with no support from other countries, that supply chain would not be as vulnerable as the mass, globalized network of supply chains that it has at the moment. So let's take advantage of that weakness that they've created in their own systems, and that's the irony of it. And also, I'd like to touch on something else. So obviously Palestine actions activists may end up, facing the authorities. I saw in one of your press releases, one of your activists is on a hunger strike for their fourth week after they were denied bail, and another group of activists were battered by police before they were, removed from their site of protest. So what kind of support do the individual activists and the organization as a whole, what kind of support do they need to be able to maintain this level of dedication to freeing the people of Palestine?
Um, thank you for that. I'll just touch on first that current situation as you mentioned. So we do have one person, Yogi, who is on hunger strike, I think entering their fifth week now. I have been remanded to prison, and Yogi's an extremely dedicated person who has taken action against Arconic and damaged their infrastructure. And Arconic are the company who supply the cladding for the Grenfell Tower, and the same company supplies parts for Israel's military, which just is another example of how these companies and these corporations who are complicit in murder are, it's the same system. If it's here, people's lives in the UK, or for people live in Gaza, where they put profit before people time and time again. And we've also seen, as you mentioned, people be beaten up before being arrested. And I think one of the very strong things about Palestine Action and the activists inside it is that people are so tired and done with the status quo, and we have a lot of people of colour as well, including myself, who may experience more racism at the hands of the police, and more potentially beatings and violence on the hands of the police. But I think often as well, these institutions underestimate how strong we are as human beings, and how much we believe in justice, and how when you discriminate against people for so long, they underestimate their power to take action and to take those risks, to do what is essentially the right thing to do. And I think in terms of support across the board is crucial for us. If that's financial, if that's promoting the word of Palestine Action, or joining us themselves, because at the end of the day, if they lock one of us up and hundreds of us take action, they can't lock all of us up. And that's when it becomes a problem, where they have to dramatically change how they enable corporations to profit from murder.